Alright gang, welcome back to our 200 horsepower challenge on CalmLands. Now, you may notice that we have a new drill that we're actually using. This is the one that Rusty was using. I did find it, decided we would go ahead and take it. Now, we're not hitting the max speed it can go, and that's just because we don't have actual tractor that's 200 horsepower. This is the highest horsepower tractor we have, it's 180 horsepower. But we're getting a lot faster, we're getting this done a lot faster than if we were just to utilize that cultivator that we have. We have not sold the cultivator. We'll utilize that as well for, you know, carrots and other things that we need to cultivate before we drill again. So, we just bought this as an addition to try to speed up the process of when creating fields. Now, you may notice I'm also creating a field different from what I had kind of mentioned in the previous episodes. Well, I decided to do this side of the road before going over there. I told you I had some other plans for there. I'm not saying that those plans will come to fruition before we start creating a field over there, but for now, we're going to do this side. So, as far as what I'm going to put in here, I think we're either going to do sunflowers or we're going to do wheat or barley. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. I'm leaning probably towards doing sunflowers because we need to drill that field up there. And I think instead of doing soybeans, even though I said we were probably going to keep that as a standard soybean field, I think for at least one rotation we're going to do wheat or barley. I'd like to do some wheat or barley. I want to make some flour so we can utilize that in some of our productions that we've placed down here in previous episodes. So because of that reason, I think we're going to modify that field ever so slightly to do that. If we do that, we can have this field and that field both being drilled at the exact same time. Since we only have one drill, technically, for cereal crop and one drill for our sunflowers and corn right now. So, I think that's what we're going to do. Now, you may have noticed already, but if you haven't, when we spin back around, maybe you'll look in that area. But if you look in the distance of our actual field, or our farm, I should say, our yard, you may have noticed some new things. I have purchased a few new things as well. And if you didn't notice them, we'll talk about them here pretty soon. As soon as we're done with this field, as soon as we're done drilling there, not drilling, plowing this field, I should say, we will go over there and take a look at them. I have figured out a solution to our header issue, right? So the headers before were taking up a ton of space in our barn. We certainly could have just bought another barn, but I felt like there was a better way to utilize storing the headers and continue to utilize the same barn that we have. So if you look out in the distance now, you can ever so slightly just see the very top of it. The rest of it's not really being rendered properly yet. But if we get closer to it, you'll see it. To the left of the red barn and to the right of our two placeables that are currently rendered, you'll see it. And we'll drive past it here in just a second, and we'll talk about it. I think it's a genius solution for it. Really doesn't harm anything, and it really doesn't take up a whole lot of space either. And it actually is giving us money. So what is actually being rendered right now, what you can actually see right now, those are solar panels. So at the end of every month, we will gain a certain amount of money because of it. And you can really see them now. They are being fully rendered now. So it's just kind of a little tiny side shed, and we just kind of combined them together as best as I could do, given the circumstances. And we created a bit of a little mini shed just specifically for the headers. We have also bought a header trailer for our swather, so we can stick both of them under there. There is enough room for us to utilize, put in at least another header in there, probably when our corn's ready to go, or sunflowers, whichever one grows faster, who knows. If we put sunflowers in back there, which is what I think we're going to do. Whenever that's ready, you know, we can pull out the header for the corn and the sunflowers at that point. So let's take a peek here real quick. So I put a few things up around it as well, just to try to make it look a little more natural in there, like some weeds and some plants are growing, you know, next to it. But yeah, it's basically just 2 of these little tiny sheds that have solar panels on top, and we just kind of stuck them right next to each other as best we could. So I think it looks pretty good. They're on the headers. We can literally just, or the trailer, we can just pull the trailer out, you know, have the harvester come around here, swing around here, connect to it, and then put it back on and back it back in. And then we can do the same thing this way, right? We can have another 2 technically header trailers here if we wanted to, and just pull them out this way and have the harvester connect to it that way. So we've got a busy day today, though, so we're going to probably put workers on both fields, drilling both fields, and then we're going to get the swather out and we're going to mow this grass here. It's time to mow the grass. We did buy a few extra sheep as well, not many, about 5 or 6 more sheep, because we are actively in the process of making clothes, and we already have, I think, 1 pallet of clothes ready to go over there. So it's just a matter of us picking that up and going and selling it when it's best. I don't know if it fluctuates or not. We'll take a peek when we get a chance to. So let's see. I think what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and grab this tractor. And we're going to put the drill that we already have over there on this one, on the International Case International. And we'll get the John Deere here, and we'll hook it up with our John Deere planter for... we're going to do sunflowers. I've decided we're going to do sunflowers. And then I'll put the plow right here next to the cultivator that we have. Let's back this up here. We'll probably realign the barn a little bit more as we continue on here. The plow really probably won't need to be out as much as the cultivator will, so we'll probably put the plow behind the cultivator and the cultivator in front of it, just so it's easier to access. But for now, we'll sit it there. We don't need the cultivator today, so it should be fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the case here. Let's take it down here, and we're going to go ahead and get the worker set up and drilling the field over here. I haven't done anything else specifically as far as yard work goes. I think I've mentioned previously that I do plan to kind of expand this this track out. We're going to put kind of a track going straight this way, as you can see here. But that'll be in the future whenever we get this part of the field drilled, and if we connect it to this one or if we make it a separate one, who knows what we decide to do there. But we'll put a track in as needed, is what I'm trying to get at. Alright, let's go ahead and hook this up. Not fully maxed out, but it's enough. We want, what I say, wheat or barley, right? Let's do wheat. That way, if we do the wheat as well, we can pick up the straw and put it into our BGA, turn in methane and electricity and all that good stuff. So we'll go ahead and put the worker on there. He may not get it perfectly done, but that's okay. Let's flip to the John Deere here. Carrots are looking good. I did have a few weeds up in the carrots that the corn that we planted in the last episode. I just sprayed those up real quick off camera. It really wasn't much. It was just a very small amount of area. So I just did that off camera. No reason to really show that on camera, I don't think. But it was just a tiny little section. So we'll probably go at least right here around the headland to the end here, and then we'll set it on a worker just so they don't run into these productions we have, right? So, and we are planting sunflowers, gang. This is exciting, man. We got corn and sunflowers going. We got carrots going. Getting a good mix on the farm here. Hopefully we make a decent profit from the grass we're getting ready to mow. Cows will be coming soon. I know I've mentioned that before. There won't be this episode, but here in the next few episodes, I'm sure we'll get into the cow stuff. Let's jump into our swather here. And we can pull the header off out of the little tiny makeshift barn we made here. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, the worker didn't go all the way up to the top, you can tell. But that's okay. We can touch it up later on. Not a big deal. And we can pull back in here. Easy. Grab the header. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something... It's not on there properly. Oh, boy. We got an issue now, don't we? Now we got an issue. Or it got caught on something. Uh-oh. Maybe this isn't going to work as well as I thought. If it doesn't, I guess we'll have to make sure use it for something else. It is connected and hooked onto something right now. This is not good. We may have to pull out another tractor and do some work here. Let's see if we can back it up. Maybe it'll unhinge itself. Or it won't. Okay. We're going to be doing all kinds of work here. This is not how I planned to start the episode here, but that's alright. While we're doing this, I can give you a little talk about some other things. So, I was talking to the Game Enjoy, and I keep going back and forth about the pallets, right? Should I just automatically sell them, or should I wait? He was saying, and I trust him more than me. He knows a lot more about the game than I do. He was saying that if you just do automatic selling, you lose about 10% of the profit. And I'm not sure if that's something we want to do or not. So, we may switch once again and kind of put the pallets back on spawning. I'm not positive what I want to do yet. Some pallets I do have spawning, like that canola oil. You can see it there. And then the cloves are spawning as well. But I'm not sure if everything is. And I think maybe, kind of going back to this, I think maybe the issue that we're seeing here is that it's trying to connect to this header trailer, and it just needs to be connected to that other one. I think that might be part of the problem here. But let's move this out of the way for a second. We can fix all this here in a minute. Let's see if we can at least get this hooked up properly. And if we can, then maybe we can fix the rest of this afterwards. Alright. Swather header's on now. Let's move this out of the way. Let's get the other tractor over here. And see if we can realign some of this stuff real quick. Now, the solar panels we have here, they don't make us a ton of money, but it is a little bit. It's a couple $1,000s, I think, and it'll help pay for some of the fees that we have to, pay and incur every single month for, having different placeables and different items that we have on the farm. There are fees that you guys don't normally see when we're doing any of these, so that'll just help a little bit with that, with covering some of it. It's not going to cover all of them, but it'll cover some of the fees that we incur during this process. So I think we're just going to set this one right here for now. Let's get up here and see if we can flip this around. Looks like the worker's doing okay. That worker looks like he's doing good too. Things are going well. Definitely not how I expected to start the episode. I was not expecting them to get connected together. I might have to figure out a different way to go about it. But for now, since we haven't bought another header yet. What I mean by that is we haven't bought a header for the corn or for the sunflowers yet. Oh boy. Oh, this is just disaster here. Come on. There we go. Kept hitting worker for some reason. I wasn't trying to. Alright, let's go put this away. Go get the tractor again. Try to whip a Yui. Bring it back in the other way and see if that fixes it or resolves it. Hopefully it does. There you go. You can really see the solar panels on there now. But I thought, well, maybe it's not going to be as good of an idea as I expected now that you just saw what occurred there. But I thought it was a good idea initially on paper. Let's whip a Yui here. Utilize some of our bigger area to turn around. And see if we can sneak this past without... Alright, I think that's going to be better off. I'm going to leave the tractor here because we're going to need it in a minute anyway. So let's jump in the swather here, gang. Let's, I think... Quick save here. I think we're going to flip around the work mode to a right swath. Okay, perfect. And let's get going. I'm going to mow this grass here too, because why not? We've got the ability to do so. We might as well. All right, we are swathing. Perfect. So we're going to swap the whole thing here. We may put more sheep in. I was kind of starting to talk about it, and then that disaster occurred. We may put some more sheep in. I want maybe even another, sheep, open sheep air pin thing, or whatever you want to call it, as well. Also found out, I'm not sure who told me about it. I apologize. I should have looked before I started this episode. It's been a number of days, well, weeks actually, since I've, since I did the last episode. Somebody told me you could remove the posts that spawn with that open-aired sheep pin thing, and so I have done that as well off camera. You didn't really get to see that, but I have done that. When we get up here a little bit closer and, when we're mowing the rest of this, you will get to see it, though. It will become apparent as we get closer to the sheep that they're no longer there, the posts. So there is a little selection in the middle that I never saw. It wasn't a like a pop-up icon or anything like that, but there is something up there. Well, there's a tree on the ground up here. Did we leave that tree last time? I don't recall doing that, but evidently we did. I don't remember this. This might have been a few episodes ago. I don't even remember this being up here. Okay, well. We've got a tree up here in the way, I guess. We'll just push it out of the way. Don't remember that being there, but it is, and it's in the way, so we're going to have to push it out of the way. It'd be nice if I could push it all the way down, but I don't know if I'll be able to or not. I'm trying, but it's kind of going off the edge here. You can see it. Here we go. We're getting closer to the sheep now. You can see there's no more posts in the ground at all. Yeah, well, I got it pretty close. It's still going to be in our crop fields. So we're going to have to deal with that here when it comes time. But in any case, the actual posts are now gone. So no more posts to worry about. I will put it in the comments. Whoever it is that told me that, I'm pretty sure it was somebody who's doing the challenge with me, and I'm just blanking on who told me about it. So let's get this done, gang. It shouldn't take too long at all. This should be a nice yield. We should make a lot of money out of this in our silage, and then turn it into, excuse me, turn it into methane and into electric among digestate as well. And we'll probably today also look at trying to sell the solid fertilizer and see if it's a better, if we make more money off that than selling just the digestate straight up. I have no idea if it is or not, but we'll look at that as well and see what the best deal is. But we're gonna get this done, and I'll see you guys once it's all done. Alright, gang, we put this on a worker. We'll let the worker finish the rest of this here. We're going to go ahead and jump into our Fiat here, and we're going to start picking some of this up. Since this is actually something that we actually drilled into the ground, the worker should do it the proper way. And make sure they spin around here and do it what I want. Looks like they're doing that. Yep, perfect. So we can have the worker do the rest of it. But we may, in the very near future, put another one of those sheep, open air sheep pen things right next to that one, so we can have a ton of sheep, making us a ton of wool, so we can create some more clothes. So I don't know how much you know about clothes, or if you know anything about clothes. I'm sure you do if you've watched anybody else play Farm Simulator, but clothes make you a lot of money. And all of the wool production stuff requires more than 200 horsepower, at least from what I can find. And I haven't really found anything out there on Mod Hub that, at least for us standard Mod Hub console players, that is, how should I put it, sufficient enough, I guess, for this series. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pick up a bunch of this grass here. I probably won't put a time lapse in. We'll just kind of, you know, do little jump cuts here and there. When we get our first full load, we will go and dump a bunch of that off into our current sheep pen there. I don't think they really need any grass right now, but there's no harm in us putting and making sure they're maxed out. So we will likely do that when we're done here. But it is definitely time for us to upgrade that Case International or this one. You can see it's having some issues pulling this up this hill right now. We need to be having 3 tractors that have 200 horsepower ideally. We'll keep the John Deere probably until we have enough money to upgrade all of them, but we should really upgrade these. I think the Fiat has the most horsepower. I think it has 5 more horsepower, not 500, 5 more horsepower than the John Deere, but the John Deere is a newer tractor for us. And I think it has a little bit more torque to it as well. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it does. We had to go fill up the drill. We ran out of seed, so we filled it up with some fertilizer and some seed, I think. To keep the worker going over there. But this, the farm actually now feels like it has a little bit of life to it, right? We've got, you know, 2 workers doing stuff already. This is good. This is really good. That work will be done any time. We can then, you know, have them work on something else potentially. We need another tractor, though. Really, is what we need. I don't know how much is going to fit in there. Not much at all. They were pretty much maxed out on food already. So. So I'm hoping all this grass, it normally does, it gives us another nice payday here. Canola oil. Let's see what the price for canola oil is right now. We may also want to put some more of the canola in there. I think it's out. I think. We also need to take a peek at the rest of what we have here as well. Did I pass it? I thought it was down further. Oh, it's right here. It is pretty good price right now, honestly. It's March. Wow. And it's $5,590. Which is only 500 off when it's maxed out. Wow, okay. Now we probably will sell them then today. If we get enough money from all the silage, then we may buy another tractor, and if we do, we can sell it at that point. Kind of screwed up there on the edge there, having that so close to that silo. I'm really not going to be able to pick any of that up. At least not easily. What are you going to do? So that field over there will need to be sprayed. Probably needs lime too. We'll have to check it, but it probably needs lime too. The field over there will need fertilizer. It probably also needs lime. It will not need to be sprayed. So that'll save us a little bit of time. So So I don't know how much silage is going to be ready in the amount of time we put in there. We really didn't give it that much time to flip over this grass into silage. But hopefully we'll get a little bit of money when it hits 11 o'clock. Because it has to turn in from silage, has to do the silage. Who's completed their task? Well, I guess he has done his task. Wow, okay. That was much faster than the one over up there, and I feel like this field's bigger. Okay, well, that's good. There's 11 liters left. Wow. That's really good. All right, let's go put this away then, and we're going to put the worker on doing some fertilization for it. Actually, since we're here, I should have checked it before we drove so far away. I could look in the map, but I kind of like looking at the field directly to figure out what it needs. It's a little more immersive. It does need lime. Okay, I thought it was going to, and it needs rolling too, which this is why we need another tractor. So we'll probably, think of how I'm going to do this. We'll probably do the lime first on that field there, and then we will fertilize it. So we'll put a worker on doing the lime. Probably going to have to get a couple of runs with that, unfortunately. It's going to take a while. But that's okay. Okay, we'll drop that off there. We'll get the fertilizer out here. We'll probably have to unload it. It probably has a bunch of fertilizer in it now. And then we'll get some lime going. Yeah, there's a ton of fertilizer in it. There's a lot of lime in that. Almost a full thing. Let's go ahead and fill up the rest of the lime here. Alright, the mower has completed their job. Nice. Whoa, this thing is heavy. We're all over the place. We need a front weight. I thought with how big this is that it would be able to pull this no problem, but it is sliding. Look at me. Look, I'm drifting. Our front wheels really are barely touching the ground here. That's okay. Once we get some of the lime out of here, which it'll it'll go out of there at a rapid pace because lime is takes a lot. It's not in abundance. But there's our one pallet of shirts, as you can see them there. That's going to take, though, in no time at all. He's going to run out in seconds, but maybe we'll get lucky and we can get the rest of this filled up with grass here. We also probably need to take a peek at the chickens to make sure they're good. I would assume they're perfectly fine. We don't have that many chickens yet. And we probably need to check the water as well for the sheep. We can fill those up. We can check the greenhouses, check all of that. We just need to do a little bit of a maintenance day, I guess is what you would call it. We're definitely drilling and doing some new stuff here, but maintenance day for sure. Because we haven't really touched all of that in a while. We've been pretty busy doing some other things, so. It is sliding all over the place. This is what I'm talking about. I need to get something else here. Tank is empty for the lime already. Alright, so let's get this filled up real quick. It shouldn't take us long to do this. It should be just this pass, basically. And then once we get this filled up, we'll run over there and grab the lime again. How much the field got done? Not much. Not much. Probably need a bigger spreader as well, especially for lime. One that you can just pull on the ground. We probably should just do the lime if I'm honest with you. It's just going to be a lot of work otherwise to not. All right, the worker finished drilling this field here. I went and touched up the top portion there. The worker stupidly, unfortunately, did drill part of that, so I had to re-drill over it with wheat to make sure we're not getting any grass or any wheat growing in our grass field. That's the reason why you go around the headland. So, mistake on my part there. I should have went up that side first and then allowed the worker to do it, or at least set him on that side instead, but too late now. So, let's go ahead and back this up here. We're going to attempt to change implements a little bit here. And what I mean by that is we're going to put the case here on picking up all of the grass. I think it can do it. Actually, you know what? I better look at it before I say that. Yeah, it can do it. So we're gonna flip it and kind of alternate what these things are doing real quick here. Oop, I turned it off. And we need to bring this back because it's empty too. And I would ideally, I'm going to modify the Fiat, put the front weight on it, so then we can carry more lime since we have to carry it so far right now. It seems like a smart move for us to do that. So we'll bring this back. We'll flip this, put this on the sprayer, and then we'll take over the case to complete picking up the rest of the grass off the ground up there. Go ahead and back this up right over here. Drop it right there. Perfect. Go get the sprayer on this. We can go put the sprayer out there on the field. We can have the worker doing that. We need to roll as well. But again, we don't have enough tractors for all these things we need to do today and accomplish today. I probably should have just, you know, drilled the rest of that for... Well, not drilled, I guess. Plowed the rest of that new field over there and then not touched it this episode and waited to the next one, but that's okay. Had to get some things done. So what we'll do here is I'm going to go and do the first pass up to the top of the hill, and then once we're done there, we'll throw it on a worker and have the worker get it all done. The worker's going to screw up anyway. We know that. He's not going to go all the way to the top because of the trees. So I might as well go ahead and do this portion here and then put it on him. The nice thing about the sprayer is it won't take long, and then when it's done, we can throw the worker on the roller, and this field will be ready with the exception of doing lime to it. Once we get to the other end here, we'll set on a worker and we'll get back to what we were previously doing. Alright. Reaching the edge here. Do a turn here. And then the worker can carry on from here once I get it lined up properly. I want to have a little bit off the edge there just in case our line was not straight when we created that field, which I don't think it was very straight. So that will help us. Let's back this up over here for now. We want this one right now. We can go ahead and hook into it. I'm going to put the weight on it. We'll go fill it back up with lime. Bring it back over there. Put it on the worker. It's going to be a lot of back and forth for a little bit, though. Customize. Perfect. Already took off the front loader, you can see that. I did that before we even started the episode. The chickens look fine, looks like they got enough food in there. We will check it, but, I mean, they should be fine for an episode. It's much better having that weight on there. Much better. Okay, let's get back into the case here, and we're going to get going here. We're almost ready to flip over at the 11 o'clock mark here, which means we should get a little bit of money incoming here. I don't know how much it'll be, but we'll get something. Probably not enough to really, well, it might be enough to buy another tractor. I shouldn't say that. But we got to be very cautious with buying a tractor. We've got to get a header still. I mean, we have enough money. It's not like we're going to run out of money. We got grass we can mow for days. We still have stuff in the silo we can sell, which we probably should look at selling today as well, to see if the price is right or not. Certainly don't remember since the last time I did an episode. It may not have been that long for you guys. I'm not sure what day this one's coming out on, but it's been a while for me. And speaking of that, I may drop this series back down to 2 days a week. I'd like to get one of my other series that only does once a week going twice a week. So it'll probably be the Gator Challenge, honestly. I'm having fun with that, and I don't plan on the Gator Challenge being a super long challenge. Like I said, 20 episodes maybe. But at least that's my goal. I don't know if at this time when this comes out or not, if I've already done it or if I will be doing it after this, but it's kind of the goal I have in mind at this point. Missed a little bit of chunks back there. We'll have to touch those up here. Hopefully we'll have enough room when we're flipping around here to pick them up. Looks like we're going to. Perfect. Evidently that one, he said he finished his job. It doesn't look like he finished his job to me, so we'll have to head back over there and clean up what he did. When we're waiting on this to unload, we can do that. Tank's empty on that. We gotta do a lot of running back and forth. When we start getting bigger, this is what I was talking about, having some side little mini yards, right? Because we could have more of those silos to fill things up so we don't have to drive as far. We can have some implements that just stay there. So there's less time of us just driving around our big, what has become a big farm. It just flipped over. We got $63,000 now, so that's really good. Really, really good. I don't know what is left's going to be in here. There's still 31,000 silage coming in, being turned into everything else. So this, we're going to get a nice payday once again when that's done. All right, let's just touch this up. We can do the rest of this. There's not enough to finish this run to come back and get more, but that's all right. We can do the rest of this. Not a big deal. So you missed a little section down there too. We'll have to check that edge there. Looks like you kind of missed it. Probably it was my own fault setting them up the way I did. Yeah, this farm it's coming together, man. It really, really is. Actually, I'm going to flip real quick. We're going to get to this one real quick, and we're going to set the worker back up on this, because the worker can finish this. The line we can do. So I might as well have the worker doing something than just sitting here. I got big plans for right there, gang. Big plans. So we definitely should have enough to buy a tractor. It just depends on if I think that we're going to have enough to do without having to buy another plot of land here, which I think we're going to. I mean, we'll take a look at the map here. I'm pretty sure that field over there is really close to being ready. If not in the next episode, the one following that. The next episode we can work a little bit more on some of my plans that I have for this land here, and then obviously make another field there or expand it, whatever we want to do. Knowing if we do expand it that this field that we expanded into and this one will be ready at the same time, but that's okay. Don't have to harvest it as soon as it's ready. But we do have all that crop as well that's in our silo. We can sell whenever we really need it. We'll try to sell it when it's best, as I've mentioned before, but if we really need the money, we have that as a scapegoat to get us the money we need. I'm on unload. Let's go. Perfect. This should be just a quick little splash and dash here at the lime, and we should be good. Then we'll have to come up here and start liming this, and we'll have to roll this as well. We need to fertilize that one back there. So a lot of things to do. A lot of things to do. I did check on getting another spreader, which probably is honestly a smart move for us to get another fertilizer and lime spreader if we can get a combo. That way we can have two running at the same time. The one I'm looking at getting is around 36-ish thousand bucks, which we do have currently with that selling of that silage. And we've got a lot more we're going to make as well, right? Probably won't show you the whole thing of me picking up all of that grass. You guys have seen that plenty. Don't want to make it too repetitive. But I have a plan that I want to implement this episode if we can do it. It has to do with this area over here. Well, part of the area over here, I guess I should say. But it's not the main plan. It's not the biggest plan, but it is one part of the plan. So we'll see what happens. Let's see how our time management goes here with the rest of this episode. It's already a pretty long episode. All of these have tended to be longer episodes as of late. I'm trying to cut that down a little bit by not, doing such long little time lapses or long portions of doing something that I've already done multiple times with you. Don't want it to be too repetitive, as I've mentioned many times. Some of it you really can't help, right? It's going to be no matter what you do. But this sunflower field is really going to yield well for us. may run out here. We may have to get more if we want to hit all of it, which we don't have to hit all of it, I guess. Yeah, we're going to run out for sure. So, I guess we'll just leave that portion there. I mean, we can come back and touch it up later. Off camera. Alright, the worker completed the spraying here, so we're going to bring the sprayer back. We'll get the roller out, throw the worker on a roller, get him rolling. He's going to need to roll that field down there too, so a lot of rolling to do. We can start liming this field as well. I think what we're going to try to do here with some of the money, gang, is buy what I was wanting to buy, right? A bigger spreader, especially for the lime. Lime is just, it just eats up lime so fast that we need something that's a little bit better so we don't have to run back and forth so much. So I was looking at this one out here. Let me back this in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I think we're going to buy it. I don't think we're going to be able to buy a tractor yet. But I was looking at... Where's it at? Not ours. Here we go. Fertilizer spreaders. Look at the Bredel. This one specifically. $45,000. Pretty expensive. If we get the big extension, it's only 1,375, and it allows 14,000 liters, which is much higher than what we currently have. The Amazon that we currently have only holds 3,200 liters, so that is a huge increase and a much better overall, I think, for us. Now, I don't know if we should really sell the one we have. I think we might want to keep it just specifically to keep it as fertilization, potentially. So we're going to buy that, gang, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy that. Big, wide tires, absolutely. I'll take the extra money on that. Well, we want that 55 if we do that, right? 12 meters to 18 meters. That, I mean, that's going to drop our time down tremendously if we do that, won't it? What's the one we currently have? What's the spreading width here? 42 meters spreading width. That's huge. Wow. Okay, so maybe we just need to find. Can we get in that? Well, hold on a second. I just had an idea. I don't even know if this is a thing or not. Is there like an extension thing that you can buy for these? It doesn't look like it. This one is 61,000, which is exactly what we have. We could sell what we have and upgrade to 10,000 liters. Still 42 meters. That's a huge upgrade from what we currently have. I was hoping there'd be like an extension that we can attach on here, but it doesn't look like there is. It looks like that's only for liquid stuff, which I guess makes sense, right? If you think about it. All right, we're gonna bring this. We're gonna sell it. We're gonna get that one that I just saw. It gives us the same width. It still does mean we only have one implement, but that's okay. It'll hold more. It won't take as long. So we're going to sell that. So let's unload this first. We'll fix it up. We'll take it back to the shop, and then I'll be back with you guys once we have sold this and bought the new one and brought it back here. Alright, we're pulling back up to the farm here, gang. I picked up the lime that was up there. That little tiny bag we had 800 liters left in it. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it's been sitting up there for a long, long time. Probably 5 to 8, 10 episodes at this point. But regardless, we went ahead and picked it up, so we finally have that, so we saved a little bit of money on lime here. Also went ahead and just filled up the gas tank while we were up there. I'm not sure if the price is different or not from buying it up there versus buying it here on the on our farm or not. I don't know that. I would assume it's probably a little bit cheaper, but regardless, either way, we went ahead and just filled up while we were up there. Alright, so let's get all that filled up. Let's get the John Deere going here. Get the roller out. I'm gonna have the John Deere start rolling the field down there in the distance. Now, I know I kind of Went back and forth on if I should just buy a separate or a secondary fertilizer and lime spreader or not, but we decided to go with that one because of just specifically the amount that it can hold, and it has a good width still. So, and it shouldn't, be throwing the tractor out of alignment or anything either. So. There we go. Workers on the way. Let's jump into here. And we're going to have to fill the rest of it up as well from the actual buy point here. I like that the cover automatically comes off when you get close to buying and selling stuff. That's pretty nice. I don't have to keep going in there and opening it up. Looks like I will have to when I go to that, though. Looks like only if it's on the ground will it open up automatically for you. Alright, I went way too far there. Got the door open somehow. There we go. I don't know how I opened that up, but I opened up the door somehow. Alright, we'll throw that on a worker. He can do his thing. And we'll get back into here and continue our progress here of loading up as much grass as we can get and flipping it over to sell. So we're almost at 12 o'clock here, so we should get some more money when that clock strikes 12. Running right through the sheep. Watch out, sheepers. Missed a little section there. I'll have to come back and mow that. We're going to have issues getting up top of this hill again because it's a pretty steep hill. Not even a pretty steep hill. It's a very, very steep hill. Very steep hill indeed. I'll go ahead and try to get up here as fast as I can here before it gets too heavy. Might mean that we have to move the swather. We need to move that back and put it away anyway, but... One minute. Once that 1 minute flips over, we'll go ahead and just jump cut until we're done with all of this. And we'll see where we're at as far as those fields go. We still have a few other things we have to do. Fertilizing specifically the one field in the far distance has to be done. All right, we went up to 50 grand. That's amazing. We basically just paid for our upgrade to the fertilizer and lime spreader. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and at least move this back to where the headers are housed. We can put that away later. At least just kind of get it out of our way here. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, there's that little strip here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. It's not going to be a whole lot of grass we get from it, but it's something. Good enough for me. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. We'll just leave it right here for now. I can fix that here in a little bit. Let's get back to loading up the grass. once we get a full load here, which shouldn't take us long, we'll jump cut for the rest of it until we get the rest of it in here, and we'll see where we're at when we're done. He should be done very, very quickly up there, and then it's just going to be a matter of us putting in fertilizer on there. Perfect. I'm just going to take over from him really quick. He is going to need more lime. There's no way that we're going to be able to finish that with that, so let's go ahead and just load that up right now as we are. Probably won't get a whole lot in here. I'm not going to fill it all the way to max because we're just going to have to unload it anyway to be put into little bags or whatever, right? I don't really want to have a whole bunch of those just hanging around. That's plenty. That's more than plenty. It's probably too much. It's okay. This is so much nicer. You saw what we were doing before, man. We'd, do one pass, maybe a pass and a half, and we'd have to go fill back up again. It was a lot of back and forth. This, if we only have to do one or two, I mean, that's perfectly fine by me. It's much better than the alternative, right? It should be done here in just a second. Alright, I thought he was saying that one was blocked, but it wasn't. He's doing alright. He's doing the thing he's supposed to be doing. Everything's good there. Watch out, sheepers. Coming through. And he's done already. We knew that wasn't going to take long. So I'll get the rest of this done, gang. And then we'll come back and we'll fertilize the new field we got. And we'll see where we're at from there. Hopefully, by the time all of that is done, it'll be 1 o'clock and we'll have some more money getting ready to come into our bank account when it hits 2. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of silage that's being shipped over to the BGA at that point. And then 2 o'clock comes, and we'll hopefully get a nice little payday from all this grass. We will have more grass, and well, it's just the grass that, weeded up grass that comes standard. When we decide to work on that field there, we will have some more to put in there. In the next episode, it should be pretty high yield of just weeded up grass, so we should get a decent amount of money from that as well. All right, gang, the field is completely done. We do have a ton of silage in here. There's 63,000 liters of silage that's still trying to work through, and you can already see what's already been put out, right? We've got 10,000 charged, 3,000 digested, 135 liters of methane, so not much, but we still have, well, we're going to have about 90 to 93,000 liters of silage that's still going to flip over again, so we're going to be continually making a good chunk of money. You can already see we made a good amount when it flipped to 13 to 1 o'clock. We got 82 grand. So I'm expecting to have close to 200,000 after all this is said and done. Probably 175,000 if I had to really guess. But with all that said, we have a lot of things still to accomplish in this episode, and it is a long, long episode. Everything else we have to do, though, is all fertilization. It's entirely fertilization. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna figure out how to back this in. I also put the worker up there rolling that field. You can see it in the background if you look close enough. Badly rendered, but you can see it. So we have 1, 2, 4 fields, I think, to fertilize. I think that's right. So we have to fertilize our grass field, which we just mowed. This field can wait till the next episode because we literally just planted it. This one needs to be fertilized. Actually, it doesn't. I'm sorry. We don't need to fertilize this one. It was grass before, so it already has one layer of fertilizer on it. So we do not need to fertilize it this episode. We can wait. So that's good. That'll save us a little bit of time. But we do have to fertilize this grass field, and we have to fertilize both of our corn fields that we planted in the last episode. They need their second application. So, a lot of things to accomplish here. I'm going to go ahead and start this up and move it away from where it was, because we don't need to do that field like I had initially anticipated. Yeah, it's 50% fertilized. We can wait until the next episode. If we do it again now, it's not going to do anything until it germinates. Germinates. Why do I keep saying germinate in this episode? Until it germinates. So we're going to have to touch up that field a little bit at the rolling as well at the very top, as we always do. Those trees kind of get in the way. We still have all those trees up there to cut if we need them. We haven't needed them yet. Well, I'm actually going to fertilize part of that field too, it looks like, but that's all right. That's fine. All right, let's see if we can zoom out any further. Nope, that's the farthest I can zoom out. So this won't take too long at all to get done, but we'll throw in a quick time lapse here. We're going to get this field done, and we're going to get those two fields done in the same time lapse. And then when it's done, I'll be back with you guys, and we'll see what our time looks like. I've teased it a little bit. I said I wanted to do one thing in this episode. I haven't really done it yet. I don't know if we will. We might have to wait to the next episode because it's getting pretty long, so I may have to tease it for one more episode. And maybe the next episode you'll get two things. 2 upgrades. 2 new things to the farm, I should say. But we'll see. We'll see how the time goes here. We'll see how long it takes us to do this field and those 2 cornfields. I'm expecting, or suspecting, I guess I should say, that it'll probably be a situation where we do have to wait until the next episode because it's going to be a long enough episode as it is now. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, that's the fields done, gang. That did not take too long at all. It didn't take that much fertilizer either. We still have a ton of fertilizer in here, which is really, really good for us. But we are making a plenty of fertilizer right now, so not really something we have to worry about, at least not in the anytime near future, let's put it that way. So it's about ready to flip over to 14, so we'll see what kind of money we get here. Actually, I want to go ahead and take a look and see how much of it actually got processed, if all of it's processed. It's not all processed. Only about half of what it was in here has been processed. So we're going to continue to make money here for the next couple of hours. All the 92,214 liters of grass have been processed into silage. So that'll all be flipping over here soon. So it's going to take a couple hours. We're not going to get the full amount that we expected to get here. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. Doesn't bother me a bit. So let's go ahead and back this up in here. So the worker's not quite done, but he's getting very close. You can see he's almost got it fully rolled. Look at that, 123,000, gang. Woo. So we probably have to wait till probably 16 or 1700 before all that will be done and processed. It actually says there's still 50,000 liters in here, so it must only be able to hold so much, and it was already at max capacity. So it's going to be a while, but we're definitely going to get there. I may just do a jump cut until we get to that time to show you what kind of money we get. But I think for now, we may just top off everything, like I mentioned, and hold off on the other thing until the next episode. We did do sunflowers in this episode, which is something we've never done. We drilled sunflowers, I should say. But let's take a look at all of our animals and see how they're doing. Quick save here. I would assume they're all perfectly fine. We need to look at the greenhouses as well. Let's see. Water, it's a little slightly under where it should be for water, but it's fine. It can wait till the next episode. Like I said, the next episode, only thing we're really going to be able to do in the next episode is work on the grass over there, mowing whatever the grass is that's been growing over there as weeds, and then potentially do some of the other new things I want to add that I want to keep as like a surprise to make you stay tuned and check out the next episode. So I think we'll do that. So these are fine. Let's take a look at the greenhouses. Maybe we'll just fill up a tank of water here to finish it off. And then jump cut to when all of the stuff has been processed in there. 2,299 liters. So what does that mean? Oh, they're fine. They're perfectly fine. They don't even really need water. They're going to be perfectly fine. They can wait till the next episode as well. That gives us something else to do in the next episode. They'll be fine until the next episode for sure. But we will have to do all of those in the next episode. So let's take a look before we finish here and see what selling, if I can even sell it. I would assume you can. Solid fertilizer. Yeah, there's no digestate in here. So actually, I'm going to flip some digestate over. We finally have reached that capacity, or met that capacity, I should say. So perfect. We can distribute the digestate then at the next hour. And I'm going to see what selling the fertilizer actually does. How much we make. We have plenty of fertilizer in our spreader right now, and there's enough in there that we could take some out to put into the drill if we had to. So I'm not as concerned with that, and we have plenty of grass. Like I said, in the next episode, we're going to get a little bit more. It'll just be the cheapo grass we get, but it'll be a little bit more. But let's just speed up time really quick while we're here with you guys, and let's just see what kind of money we get from this fertilizer selling. I don't know if it sells the whole amount. I would assume it does. It did. It did. Look at that, gang. Holy moly. 266,000. Holy smokes. All right, we'll store the fertilizer for now. Holy moly. We still have tons of silage in here. Look at that. I was going to just jump cut it, but, I mean, at this point, we might as well just speed up time. We just did speed up time, so why not just do it again, right? $305,000. Oh, we're going to have so much money for the next episode. We're going to be able to do everything I wanted to do. $341,000. Giddy up, baby. That is awesome. Man, that is... that's the most money we've had. and we've got plenty of fertilizer in here again, so we can just sell the fertilizer whenever we get it maxed out again. Oh man, this is going to make everything that I want to do come true here, gang. We're able to buy any plot of land now, any plot we want. This is great. This is great. The next episode, it's not going to be so much that we don't have as much to do now. We're going to have plenty to do because we're going to be able to buy another plot of land and still have plenty of money left over. This is great, gang. We'll be buying some new equipment. We'll be putting in some new productions, among other things. So, hope you'll stay tuned. Hope you'll check it out then. Like, subscribe if you're new. It's free. Helps me a ton. If you thoughts, questions, let me know down below. How do you think I'm doing in this challenge? We're about almost halfway through, for me at least. I think most of the guys are doing, well, I think most everybody that's doing 20 to 25 episodes. I said I was planning on doing at least double that. It may be less. Somewhere between the 45 to 55 range is really where I'm kind of aiming for. It may get to the point where it's way too repetitive and too much of the same thing, and if it does, then we'll just stop it at that point, whatever number it is. If it's 35 or 55 or 65, whatever it is. But that's my goal. So we're going to leave that episode there, gang. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will clean the rest of this up off camera. I'll get all this back. I'll get the header back on the trailer there. Get the swather away. I'll get all this put away off camera. And I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.